Just in case you're wondering, if you park your van near or behind a goalpost, you may get hit in a window. And that happened this week, where this window right here got hit. And you'll notice it did not break the window, but it broke the handle, the plastic handle on the inside. And newsflash, you cannot replace that handle by itself. You have to replace the whole window because the handle is glued into the window. So I'm preparing to do that. Note the size of your minivan. This is a short wheelbase, and that makes a difference on what window you get. And also, this has the darker tinting of the windows than some of the other models, so you'll have to make sure they get the tinting right as well when you go to a salvage yard, for instance, to get one of these. Notice the two bolts on one side of the window there that holds it into the frame, and then the handle is glued in there. The handle there that's broke, this behind here, this comes off to release that. One thing I learned in doing this, so you start with that cover. You can pop that off with a flathead screwdriver. Carefully, it'll snap off. Take the screws, the Phillips screws out of that, and then release this panel by pulling on this edge, pulling it out, and then you can get behind there and get to the screw that's at the bottom of that post channel, and then you can snap that channel off. Pull this off first, and looky there, you have multiple screws that need to be taken off. You can see the back of the speaker cover. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 snapping points behind that, in addition to the several screws that are there too. With those screws removed, now this whole piece will pull away and we can get to that hole. You can see in there the snapping points that are along the inside there. If you reach up on the top there, you can see that this just pulls down. In the same way over here, you can pull this panel down. See the snapping point behind there, and you can work at getting this loose so that you can get to the bolt holes back there. The bolts that are on that bracket are 10 millimeter. You can use your ratchet to take them off. Obviously, when we put that in and we crank down on those bolts, we won't want to do it too hard because of the plastic, it'll break it. So you just have to get it snug. So I got the bottom nut out, and good luck trying to not drop it in that hole. The top one I dropped, so I'm going to have to find another nut out of my assortment in order to replace it. But it's because the hole is small and you can't get your other fingers in there at the same time. You better have some way to hang on to the nut without it dropping down in there, because it's not easy. One more note: if you're doing this by yourself and you're going to put the new glass on, replace the nuts on the inside, you probably want to tape the glass to the van frame so that it doesn't come out on you, or have somebody on the outside just holding pressure on the glass while you replace the nuts. So you can see I've got the new handle bolted on, the window in, and both bolts, or the nuts, applied to the bolt there and down there. And now I'm just getting ready to put the pieces back together, snap in the side pieces, and put the speaker cover back on, and then eventually put the bolt in there for the seat belt restraint. Well, now we are all back together. I would encourage you, when you put in your seat belt bolt, make sure that this is set to the height by depressing the black lever. You can slide it up or down depending on the height of the person sitting in the seat. I would suggest that you make sure that's locked into one of the slots so that it's useful if someone's in an accident. So when you replace this, notice here along this edge that on this side the seal is on the outside of that channel, so you'll want to tuck it underneath of there. But on this side it's not necessarily that way. So just try to match however it was before. Should have a working window. That's it. Have fun.